advisory group here in Wichita, Kansas. I made a few notes over the weekend and just wanted to cover a few things with some of our pastors and ministers and church clients that we deal with. In upcoming videos, I'm going to be discussing things like what is a minister's housing allowance in detail, who is a minister for tax purposes, and then is a minister self-employed or employed? A lot of times ministers don't know. And then just some other key points regarding pastoral income while they're working as well as they're moving into retirement. But today I wanted to just do a real quick brief video on what housing allowance actually is and how it can be used. Once again, this is really brief. But the first thing I wanted to mention to you about housing allowance is just that housing allowance it's one of the most valuable benefits that pastors will ever have. Okay, a lot of pastors who are taking a housing allowance know this already. Sometimes when a pastor is new in the ministry, they really don't understand it. And sometimes when a pastor has been pastoring for 30 years, they don't understand how it must be utilized in order to be in line with the IRS and do it properly. The first thing I wanted to tell you is that housing allowance is free of federal and state taxes. That's one of the reasons it's so beneficial to pastors, okay? It's still taxed at the Social Security level, but it is free of federal and state taxes. So what is housing allowance? Housing allowance is everything it takes to operate your home except for food and clothing, okay? Now, it can be, a lot of pastors will initially argue with this, but this is an absolute fact, it can be up to 100% of your income, okay? But it must be the least of the following three things. The first is the officially designated amount in the resolution that's passed by the church each year. Remember, the least of the following three things: the officially designated amount passed by the church in the resolution. The actual expenses is number two. Okay, this includes everything it takes to operate your home except for food and clothing. It includes your utilities. It includes if you need a security system, and I won't get into all the details. We've got a great housing allowance worksheet that's been done by some of the best CPAs that work with pastors in the nation. Feel free to call our office or click the link below in this video, and we'll be happy to send you a housing allowance worksheet that will help you determine all of that. But the third thing is the fair rental value of your home, including everything that it takes to, or everything inside of your home, the fair rental value of everything inside of your home, okay? So remember, housing allowance can be up to 100% of your income, but it must be, to qualify as housing allowance, it must be the least of either the official amount passed by the church each year in the resolution, the actual expenses, and that includes everything it takes to operate your home, except for food and clothing. It does include utilities, or the fair rental value of the home, including everything within the home if you had to rent everything within the home. The least of those three things. Make sure, pastors, that you are doing this. Make sure that you're tracking your expenses and that you really can justify them. Don't just take what the board says you can take and just call that housing allowance and allow that to be free of federal and state taxes. You can do it for a while, but if you get hammered on it or if you get audited by the IRS, they're going to want that documentation. That's all I wanted to discuss for today in this quick video. Once again, if you have any questions, feel free to click the link below, or feel free to call our office, 316-682-PLAN. That's 316-682-7526. We would love to work with you. We'd love to serve you. We serve a lot of pastors in the Wichita and Kansas area. Hope you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks for watching.